Welcome to another Rolled in Reacts episode. Customer states clunking noises from the front of the car. And this customer had been driving on an unmarked road when they started hearing weird noises from underneath their car. And this 2013 Chevy Equinox came in because it had a hard time accelerating. This customer came in complaining about poor braking power. And this customer had installed his own exhaust system together with his friends. And this customer doesn't believe that there's such a thing as too many floor mats. The owner of this car wanted to replace the coolant in the radiator themselves and accidentally ended up filling the washer liquid reservoir with coolant. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? And this certainly looks like an acceptable amount of play. Customer states, steering wheel feels really weird. This customer came in and specifically requested an alignment, but when the mechanic told them about this, they refused any further repairs. The owner of this car had their catalytic converter stolen, but apparently didn't notice anything until they came in for an oil change a few days later. And this engine had a bit of a leak. This Toyota Tacoma came in for an oil change, and when the mechanic had it up on the lift, he discovered that it was in need of a bit more work than just that. Customer states, strange water leak in cabin, please advise. And this car came in for some brake work, but when the mechanic told the customer the price, they said that they'll think about it, but then never came back. This customer came in with their classic Mercedes and said that they'd driven the car for thousands and thousands of miles without any issues, but now needed some help in getting this fixed. And this car had a bit of a strange oil plug, but it apparently wasn't leaking any oil. This 2010 Saab 9.3 came in with a broken cam bolt after the owner had done an alignment at a different shop. The mechanic also found a few more treats as he had the car on the lift. And this Infiniti G35 came in after the owner had installed a lowering kit all by themselves. Customer states, loud noises when driving on the highway. Apparently, the customer had overloaded the car regularly and never replaced the worn out stock shocks in the back. And this customer came in for an inspection after they had just bought this car at an auction, and this is what the mechanic found. And this Honda came in because of a clunking noise. Nah, I don't think it needs new bushings. And this customer came in with a few flat tires after having had a fight with her ex-husband a few nights before. And this car came in because of poor acceleration and an exhaust leak. Apparently, the owner had built and installed the exhaust system all by himself. Customer states, did my own oil change, car won't stop smoking. The mechanic later discovered that the engine was overfilled by about 8 quarts or 7.6 liters of oil. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Looks good. And this sheriff came in because he kept hearing a bell when driving over bumps. This car came in on a tow truck because it refused to start after the owner had tried installing some new speakers by himself. The mechanic found a few blown fuses and a couple shorted wires to be the issue. Customer states, car started making funny noises, but no check engine light is on. And this customer came in with a pretty decent oil leak after having replaced their oil pan at another shop. The mechanic discovered that the other shop had installed a new oil pan, but left much of the old oil pan gasket and used two types of silicone. This 2004 Chevy Silverado came in because it kept overheating and leaking coolant after the customer had installed a new aftermarket electric engine fan that they had bought on eBay. And this Bentley came in on a tow truck because it wouldn't start. The owner didn't go into too much detail, but judging by the dashboard, it had apparently been sitting somewhere for quite a while. Uh-oh. Customer states, car keeps clunking when going over bumps. The customer ended up declining all repairs. And this Cat 3508 diesel engine came in because, well, the crankshaft wanted a bit of fresh air. This customer had apparently hit a large pothole doing 40 miles an hour. And this truck came in because of a tire issue. These bubbles usually form after hitting something like a pothole or a curb at higher speeds. And this 1970s Volkswagen bus looks pretty alright from a distance, but once you get up close, prepare for a lot of oh boys and wows. And the owner of this Ford Fiesta hadn't replaced their cabin filter in quite a while. Customer states, car started handling worse recently. Please advise. And this car got a little excited after just having had an oil change. This bird had decided it didn't want to pay any rent, but the landlord came into the shop to have it evicted. Thankfully, the bird was unharmed and ended up making the shop its new home. And this customer had an appointment to fix their tire, but had apparently driven the car in like this. This customer came in complaining about a noisy wheel. Looks good. This 2021 Land Rover came in because it refused to start. The mechanic removed the intercooler intake and found this. Customer states, car got louder overnight. Please advise. The mechanic discovered that someone had stolen everything but the customer's cats. And here's why you should be extra careful not to put too much oil in your diesel engine. The mechanics found the truck to be overfilled by about 11 quarts of oil, and this is dangerous because diesel engines rely on compressed air and fuel to ignite. So when too much oil is added, it can enter the combustion chamber and the engine then starts to burn it, which leads to it revving uncontrollably. To stop it, you gotta choke the engine of air somehow, so stuffing something in the air intake, like a rag or even emptying a CO2 extinguisher in there, will usually do the trick. Customer states, car needs a wheel alignment. And you know, this is what could happen when you let your buddy do the work for cheap. This customer complained about a rattling noise when driving over 30 miles an hour. And the owner of this car works extra for DoorDash and had fixed their broken muffler with a few aluminum trays while on the way to a customer because they didn't want their pizza to get cold. This car came in for a fuel leak, and the mechanic discovered it was because an adjustable wrench had decided to take a little vacation. And this BMW came in on a tow truck after it refused to start. Apparently, the customer had kept driving the car with a coolant leak and ended up overheating and seizing the engine. The mechanic also noticed that the customer had tried fixing the leak himself using fiberglass, and the rotor blades of the engine fan had somehow gone through the hood. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Customer states, brakes recently started to squeak. Looks like they have a bit more problems than just squeaky brakes. Oh, is that RTV silicone? And this customer came in complaining about poor airflow from their AC. This vehicle came in because it apparently had a transmission leak. And this customer's Jeep had a broken oil cooler that had unfortunately filled the entire cooling system with oil. And this valve core got stuck and started to spin as the mechanic was doing a tire repair. Customer states, hit something on the road, engine light is on, please check and advise. And this customer complained about vibration when driving after they had gotten their wheels balanced at another shop. And this car apparently came in without a bearing. This car came in because the owner had no brakes and the mechanics found that the discs and pads were missing. Customer states, car is leaking a lot of oil. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe for more. Thank you for watching, and until next time.